Contemplate the workings of the inner being. Your eyes are wide open, but are you really seeing?
And we're back.
We are.
My name is Ta.
My name is Cole.
We are
Ta
Cole, and this is Mentor in the Mirror podcast.
TM. It's actually not TM.
R?
Whatevs.
TM.
Trademarked, yo. Like the little TM.
Yeah, R registered. Trademark.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Hi, y'all. What's up? Welcome back, and thank you for joining us. As always, we're still talking a lot about a lot of things on the sideline, and
shame, man. The shame is just here, and it's very, very present. Because we've illuminated it within ourselves, it's all I can freaking see. Every conversation, every post, every person, everything has got this undertone, this driver, this focus of shame.
Shame on you. Shame on me.
On your house.
Shame on we.
Shame on your dog.
Shame on they. Shame on it. Shame on it. Shame on it. No it. Shaming. So I was thinking in the car, and when we were driving, I burped. And the first thing to come up was, excuse me. And I'm thinking to myself, this is a very natural body process. Why does it need to be excused? And so I started thinking about farts, right? Why do we need to excuse, right? Oh, because it smells bad. Does it smell bad, or it smells like it smells? Right? We've assigned these things to bodily processes. We've assigned these things to us as human beings. Well,
and even if it smells bad, that is a signal of something.
True, it is. Yeah, it is. I mean, this is what the bacteria smell like, right? And we have bacteria in us, so something's wrong with us, right? So we should be
ashamed.
We should be ashamed of it. And when I going deep into this, I'm sitting there pondering in the morning, thinking about clothes. We wear clothes. Do we just wear clothes to protect us from the weather and from the elements, or do we wear clothes to hide who we are? When you think of if you walk outside in the United States, in most places in the United States, if you walk outside naked, you can get arrested for indecent exposure. And the idea that the human body is indecent in its natural state.
Well, or appropriate dress. If you're going into churches or even schools and stuff, there was appropriate and inappropriate attire.
Right. Yeah, it's what was it? Not humble. What's
modest?
Modest. Yes,
modesty.
Yeah, modesty.
I mean, look at the word in essence, right? It's like to be modest. Oh, you should be modest. The way you dress should be modest. Everything that you do, if you are a quote unquote good person, should be modest.
Should be modest. It should be dulled down,
yes,
scaled back.
Yes.
Because you, in your fullest expression of self, is too much.
Too much skin, too much volume, too much excitement, too much joy,
too much
anger,
too much happiness, too much energy,
anything
much
that is perceived by who exactly becomes a metric of being too much.
Yeah. And for those of you who are listening to us, our cosmology, I know I can speak for myself. I'm sure you can speak for yourself, Cole.
No, I can't.
The idea that shame for us and how we work with it is the idea that something is wrong with you, something is bad about you, or something is broken about you. And all of these things are shame can be used to control people by telling them if they are this way, that they're bad, broken, or something is wrong with them.
Which is different than guilt. Guilt is that you've done something wrong.
Right.
Shame is there's something innately wrong with you.
Right. So if you're guilty, chances are something's wrong with you. So shame is the undercurrent of guilt. And so this is a lot of the work we've been doing to unravel shit for ourselves and for other people has to do with shame. And we see the way that it moves from the space of being shamed, feeling shamed, or using shame as a tool to a person being dishonest or hiding, not showing themselves, or isolating themselves, right? Which leads to loneliness, which leads to stress in the body, untoward stress, physically, socially, mentally. It leads to a stress. And
it's gotten a lot stronger with people lately.
Yeah.
With everything that's been going on. People use shame for control, right? Mm-hmm. And it's step one is first to become aware that you are shaming others. You're shaming yourself. and bringing awareness to that first, because it's easy for us to pick out shame in other people. It's another when you start to realize how you're shaming yourself and how you're shaming other people, because it's the most efficient way to get them to at least perceivably perform the way that you want them to.
Right. Shame is very efficient. And I'm not saying shame is a good thing or a bad thing. It's a thing. And I'm saying that as we move forward in our evolution as human beings, is it functional to get us into the next evolution of humanity? Shame still has documented proof that it is detrimental for the human physiology. And so what I was saying a few seconds ago was that stress, that's buildup of stress, moves you into a place where your body starts to break down. Mm-hmm. And, looking at what's going on right now in the world with COVID-19 and all of the stuff that's happening, I can just about guarantee you that most of the people who are having a hard time moving through COVID or dying from COVID have been buried under a whole lot of stress that is a trickle down from shame.
Well, and that's assuming that they even had it as cause of illness, because we know firsthand, I mean, I'm not going to get into that on this episode, but we know firsthand that people are being diagnosed after dying just because it was present, but they were not infected by it, which is, anyway, right. I'm not even going to go there.
And I mean, regardless, COVID, the flu, common colds, we know that people who are stressed all the time have the common cold often.
Right.
They get the flu.
They get sick
often.
all the time.
They get sick often. People who have diabetes,
bronchitis,
all of these things, they get sick often because there's stress that's underlying. And what is the underlying stress, right? What is driving the underlying stresses of humanity? And when you look at it, when you look at your life, what is driving you to perform the way you do? Do you have to have a nice car so your friends will be impressed? Do you have to have a big house? Do you need to do this? Are you a good parent? Are you a bad parent? Right? All of these things.
Or you can't say that because people will shame you, or because of what they'll say. That goes back to the risk. You'll be cast out of society, out of the group, out of the tribe, when you go back to an ancestral element, and which then makes people, well, I'm not going to say anything because it's not worth it. People are just going to single me out. And it's always a fine line to walk between sharing your truth or putting yourself out to the wolves just because they are looking for someone to crucify and to take out.
Yeah, agreed. And that leads to that breakdown of the human physiology. And when you look at how our immune systems work, we're dealing with a lot more than our immune systems were designed for. Our immune systems were designed for bugs, viruses, parasites, fungus, and mold. Did I say bacteria? I did, right? Yeah. So that's what our immune systems are designed for. Now, when you look at what's going on in our society now, we've got toxic fumes, we've got toxic stuff in our house, we've got toxic chemicals, we have all these things that our immune system is now fighting off too. So when you're fighting off all this stuff, your immune system is taxed, plus you're stressed out from shame and whatever else is bothering you in the background. What's going on with your body? Your body's not able to keep up with this, and it causes the body to break down.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I've also been considering, I'm watching all of these new masks showing up, right, when we go to the grocery store, and I can see the products that they're made from, and the gas emissions that come, or like the gases that come off of certain types of fabrics. You're placing this plastic over your mouth that just came from a factory that you are directly inhaling. And I'm questioning how that's going to also impact respiratory. If you already have like a challenged respiratory system, to be putting some of the plastic that I've been watching people with some of these like new fancy neoprene whatever masks, that I'm just like, that can't be good fresh out of the package to be putting that on your face.
Especially not for hours at a time, and
so many layers.
There are so many layers. What about the guy that we went past yesterday that pulled off his mask to smoke a cigarette?
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on, man. It's like, what are we doing? And, bringing it back to the shame thing. When you look in the mirror, are you being honest with yourself about what you're presenting? And are you ashamed to be who you are? And if you are ashamed to be who you are and to feel the way you feel and to act the way you act, are you providing your body with a tremendous amount of stress and strain to cause you to hide? That causes a lot of work for your body to do unnecessarily. Well, I can't say it's unnecessary, but it's untoward.
Yeah.
It's in a space where it just really doesn't function for the longevity of your body. And, very seldom do we come back with back-to-back topic
that's how big it is, though. Like, this is getting louder, and it always comes down to where you put your focus. You become really aware of it.
Yeah.
And the awareness of this, like with the one post I put on Facebook, I haven't talked about anything with this virus for the majority of the time that it's been here. I had one day that I did 3 posts, and people that have never commented on my stuff or once in 10 years, all of a sudden had opinions of who, that they're disappointed in me and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't know whatever projection or creation or expectation or pedestal you've placed me on. I invite you to have a conversation with me and take me down off this pedestal, because the disappointment you have has nothing to do with me. This is a story, an image that you've created of who I should be if I am the things you believe me to be.
Right.
Your disappointment is yours.
Right.
And if and only one person hit me up looking for clarity, looking for what my take was on a particular thing I posted. I didn't put my opinion anywhere. People projected opinions because of what I shared, whether they were looking for a political agenda or a medical or, whatever their projection was. Mm-hmm. And only one person hit me in the background and said, hey, I'd like to hear what you had to say because I was surprised to see you post that, right? That was the only person that was actually looking for, wow, what caused you to choose that? Because from what I am seeing, I'm surprised that you would share that. And for me, I won't engage with someone that won't hit me up in the background for clarity, because then you have already created an image that I'm not here to defend, right? Because otherwise I'm defending my idea of me and you're defending your idea of me. So it's not worth my energy to engage.
And that's one of the dicey things about shame is it's not only an internal thing, it is a projection.
Yes.
We can project shame, our perception of someone else. We can feel ashamed. I'm ashamed. How many times
How dare you?
I'm ashamed of you.
Yes. Or you should be ashamed.
Yeah, I'm ashamed of you. And it's like, what I see you do is shameful to me, so I must tell you about it, which in turn can flip on another person and cause them to internalize shame. So we've got to be really mindful. We don't have to be. You can do it.
Well, I know that I choose to be, because it is not my intention to put shame on someone. And it is always my invitation, if someone feels shame from me, to bring it to me. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Because if I chose a series of words that causes you to feel shame, I can choose different words and still get my conversation can still be clear. I have access to a lot other words and ways to say things, right? So this is that opportunity of self-reflection. And if you go look in the mirror, start there. How are you shaming yourself of what you should or shouldn't be doing? Or maybe you went and saw a friend in the background, and if other people knew, they'd shame you for it. You know what? Don't carry that with you. Yeah. That is the most destructive thing you can carry in your immune system, in your nervous system, and in your body is shame.
I think.
Go ahead.
No, I think that's one of the most awesome things about our relationship is that we can bring these things to the table. You've brought things to my attention that I didn't even think was shame language, and it was. And this stuff becomes so insidious. It's buried in all of the things
it's unreal, the layers of shame
buried in all of the things that we do. It's buried in facial expressions, body postures. It's buried in a lot of stuff. So please take your time, step back and look at what you're doing. Think about what you're saying.
What were you thinking?
What were you thinking?
Who does that? I can't believe you did that, right? All of these, even the same sentences, the tones, the inflections, all of that. Shame is built into the sound. It's built into the energy, just someone looking at you in disappointment. Shame.
And it controls our behavior. It's so efficient. It controls our behavior, and it controls a person's behavior with by emotion, by causing them to feel a certain way.
Well, and a lot of people want the other person to feel shamed because that is the retribution for hurt.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, you deserve, because of what you've done to me, I'm going to inject as much suffering as possible, and shame is the vehicle.
Yeah. Oh, late again, huh?
I mean, I knew you wouldn't show up anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so deep, guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it. It's a little salty, but it just, I'm used to it now.
Right. Shame.
It just.
Well, you always do that anyway.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry about it. I wasn't looking for a meal that wasn't burnt. This just stuff like this, man, it causes people to move into their own shame space and hide. and not speak about things and subdue things.
Or for the reaction that they're looking for, you know, for significance, for love, for attention, out of anger, to hurt someone back. You know, part of it is taking responsibility. And if you're really going to be about this woke shit that everyone claims to be about, it is required to start bring awareness of how you shame yourself and how you shame other people.
Yep.
Because until you are consciously aware of your shame language, first of all, you're not going to have the awareness of why stuff is impacting you when people say it to you, which is most of what causes a reaction is shame.
Yep.
So then you're coming to defend because you feel bad about yourself, which then goes against your identity of yourself. So you've got to defend it because someone's trying to make you feel bad about yourself. And if you're going to be about this, if you're going to be about being consciously aware, then it includes using that language against other people. It's boring.
Oh, are you shaming them?
I am shaming.
You shaming the conscious people who shame people?
No, I'm bored.
Oh.
There's no shame in boredom.
Is there?
I mean, not in my boredom. I'm just bored.
Are you calling me boring?
No, I'm bored with your shame.
Are you shaming yourself?
No.
For being bored with my shame?
No, I don't care.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, sons, and daughters, lovers and lovettes. Lovettes and no, that doesn't.
Yeah,
that
I don't know
work.
where that's going.
Anyway, it was a nice flow for a couple of seconds. Please,
till it wasn't anymore.
We invite you to step in front of the mirror and look at the mentor in the mirror that is your deepest and closest compadre, friend, mentor, guide, and ask, you know, have I been shaming myself? Have I been shaming other people?
Yep.
Have I been shaming my kids?
My animals?
Have I been shaming my ideas?
Yep.
Are my ideas?
If I was more woke, I wouldn't do this, or I would do this, or it's all shame.
It's you know, please look in that mirror and ask yourself. And if you have been shaming yourself, can you let yourself off the hook and just try on what it would feel like to be free from all that shame? Just let it go. Let the other people off the hook. Let yourself off the hook and see what your body feels like. And if your body relaxes as you let go of shame that you've been programmed into, not that you picked up by yourself, and some of it you may have, but I bet you, dime a dozen of these paradigms, you have been programmed by someone else or something else to perform in a space that keeps you in control and trying to control other people for something outside of yourself.
Shame is the chains that are wrapped around your body to keep you from flying.
Yeah.
You know, and even if you think that you are free right now, if you are not aware of this shame device, you are still cuffed to the ground.
Yeah.
And we invite you, especially people looking to step into that condor energy that we've talked about in great length in past episodes. If you're going to take off, if you're going to go this long distance, this new paradigm, these new shifts, all the chains got to come off.
They got to come off.
That is the prison that only you can set yourself free from.
That's right. And if you are an entrepreneur in your business and you are shaming the people that you
your
work
employees,
guarantee they're hiding something from you. Guarantee it's going to show up in your business later on.
It's going to show up in your body and their body.
That's right. And in every relationship in your life. So we invite you to please let yourself off the hook. Let the people that you work with off the hook. Start being transparent and start talking about what's going on with you. Let's get these bodies rocking, aligned with these relationships, aligned with these family situations, aligned with these businesses, aligned with that mentor in the mirror.
Because if you really care, you'll do what we say.
That's right.
Because that's shame.
Shaming you into not shaming right
so
now.
If you're still uncoupling this for yourself, get some friends on board to help start pointing it out to each other with kindness, with love, with compassion. So share this episode with a friend. That's how you start to really get to the depths of this, is who are your reflectors in your life? Who are the ones that can help keep you on track with where you're looking to grow and what you're looking to do. So don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share with a friend. We love you so deeply, and we would love for you to join us on this path to shame-free if you want to be. So until next time, my name is Cole.
My name is Ta.
This is Mentor in the Mirror. Be free.